All right, welcome back. So today it is October 12th, and I'm going to be starting a new video series today. This is going to be probably maybe a monthly update, something like that. It's going to be the Beer Money Roth series. About a year ago, my wife and I were looking through some things, and we were looking at what we spend on just like things like alcohol and snacks and going out to eat, stuff like that. We decided to actually take that money. We set a weekly value of $100. We started with $100. And we started setting that money aside into a different bank account. So we stopped drinking, stopped buying alcohol, we stopped buying snacks at the gas station, we stopped, even when we go out to eat, we just get like soda or water. We don't get alcohol there anymore. And we really kind of wanted to see what it would be like if we just changed that part of our life and then put that money into a separate bank account. So here's just a quick Google sheet that I made of approximately what we were spending. So I called it consumable expenses because it's really just consumable things. So alcohol, energy drinks, snacks. We also do have 3 kids. So this is including any time that we would go to the gas station with the kids to pick up an energy drink or pick up something else, and we buy snacks for the kids, stuff like that. So we originally started with $100 and then we changed it to $115, and I'll go over that in a little bit. So if you look at the max annual contribution limit for a Roth IRA, it is $6,000 a year. So if you take $115, multiply that by 52 weeks in a year, you have about $6,000 a year. So essentially what I decided to do was take that money that we were saving and just putting into a bank account. We opened up a Roth IRA, and now we're starting to put all of this money into the Roth IRA. But what we ended up going with is the Vanguard Total Stock Market Index Admiral Shares, VTSAX, and we're just buying $115 of VTSAX every week. So as I was making this video, I was kind of curious. So I typed in, how much does the average American spend on alcohol per month? And I came up with a couple different numbers. So this section right here says millennials spend $300 a month on alcohol. My wife and I are also considered millennials. So then this section here says if you have 3 drinks a day, 5 days a week, at an average of $10 a pop, you're spending about $150 a week. So that number can vary a lot because you may not drink at all, you may drink more than that, you may spend less on your drinks or whatever. But just the general idea of how much you're spending on any consumable item. So this could be Starbucks coffee, energy drinks, it could be snacks at the gas station, it could be a sandwich that you buy for lunch, whatever. So I feel like a lot of people could take a solid look at what they're spending and come up with a pretty decent amount that they could take out of their budgets every month. And a lot of times this spending leads to other stuff too. So like you go out and have a couple drinks, and then instead of making dinner at home, you decide to order chicken wings and order a pizza, and then you're spending other money. So the stuff really does add up. So moving on, what we decided to do is move it into VTSAX. VTSAX also does have an ETF if you just wanted to buy individual shares and you didn't have the $3,000 minimum to buy VTSAX. You can buy the stock symbol VTI. The expense ratio on both is very close at 0.03%. And that's actually kind of what we started doing with this account. So here you can see I have a bunch of different other symbols that I was buying, including VTI. I was starting to buy VTI. I was buying VOO and a few other symbols. So what I ended up doing with this account when I was able to buy VTSAX, because it has a $3,000 minimum, I decided to put that on an auto investment plan. So I don't have to think about it at all. It automatically sends the money into the account. It automatically buys additional VTSAX. And here you can see August 10th is the first purchase of VTSAX in this account after I switched everything over. So the first purchase was a little over $5,000. And then you can see every week, it's just putting in that $115 investment every week. So this does this completely automatically. I don't have to look at it. I don't have to think about it. I don't have to do any manual buys, because as far as I'm concerned, I don't want to think about this stuff. I just kind of want it to be growing in the background. The way we look at it, this is money that we were kind of blowing and spending, and it was gone anyways. So this in our eyes is like a zero risk investment, and we're just going to set it and forget it and see what happens with it. We do have about $185 in realized gains from selling the stuff that we had before, with a $111 unrealized loss right now, just because of the time that we started buying VTSAX. So if we look at August 10th, this is the weekly chart. So every one of these bars is a week. We basically started buying right before this little top right here, and it's been pulling back ever since then. So we're just dollar cost averaging in every week, and we'll just continue to do that and see where it goes. But again, this is the Vanguard Total Stock Market Fund, so as long as we believe that the stock market will be higher than it is right now sometime down the road, then we should be okay. VTSAX also does pay a dividend. So this is our estimated annual income right now, dividend income. It's just about $80 a year so far. and we're up to about $20 every 3 months. So we do have this on an automatic reinvestment plan. This just automatically buys more when the dividend comes. So that's what we're planning on doing with this. So if we look at the historical performance for VTSAX, it's showing since inception on average about a 8.2% return. So if we punch this into this compound interest calculator with the initial investment of $115, monthly contribution of $460, and if we just assume 20 years at 8% compounded annually, after about 20 years, you could possibly have $253,000 with $110,000 of contributions and then $143,000 in gains. So that's kind of interesting just to look at it that way, considering that this is all just money, like I said, that was just going out the door anyways, and now we just decided to start saving it. So I plan to do videos on this maybe once a month, just kind of see how it's growing, see what's going on with it. Probably won't be a very exciting series, but it'll be interesting to see what happens.